Good afternoon everyone, AsaQr with you, and today in Mobile Hero Wars I'm going to show you the new hero Oya at max level. Watch this video to the end to enter the giveaway and get resources. Subscribe to my channel, there you will find a lot of unique information you didn't know about before. The new hero Oya, being a warrior, has joined the ranks of the Nature's Path. With rebalancing of Mojo and introduction of Mushy, nature became firmly associated with them, and physic heroes in that faction have always lived on their own. Finally, a hero is introduced in this way who will be able to unite Ju, Elmir, Dark Star, and Yasmine and make them more powerful. Or is it? Or maybe Oya is needed for a completely different purpose. Let's figure it out. Oya's main characteristic is strength, and she is positioned behind Tristan and in front of Ishmael, very close to all the tanks. At max level she has just over 500,000 health, which is very good for a hero with a basic strength characteristic with no skin on health. Oya's base attack speed is just below average. She attacks slow and immediate, being next to Isaac and Jet on this stat, and ahead of some tanks with damage dealers. This is generally fine since Oya has two active abilities. Oya also has the first artifact with effect of giving out a critical hit chance. Besides her, Julius, Ju, and Ishmael have this artifact. This is very impressive as there are a lot of physic heroes in our game with a physical attack artifact, and quite a few who have no critical hit chance in their parameter. Oya is now present here to fill that gap. Considering this factor, it is important to note here that this effect is chosen by the developers for a reason and has a special ground in the form of abilities, the mechanics of which we will now analyze. Their game description you can see on the screen. But let's get to know Oya's abilities together. Her skills should be seen in practice. First skill deals 161,000 damage to the nearest opponent. All enemies with any tags applied to them also take 30% more damage from this skill. If Oya deals a critical hit, damage from this ability is doubled accordingly. Oya restores 700 energy if she kills an enemy with this skill, and after that, she's ready to ult again right away. Passive effect. Enemies surrounded by shields take 100% more damage from any of Oya's skills. For a very long time we have been waiting for a hero against shields, in particular against Julius, and now it has finally been introduced. Damage from ultimate is not much considering the factor that Oya has no armor penetration, but killing with ultimate always proves to be useful and satisfying for her team. And if somehow she finds an armor penetration, Oya's damage starts to be impressive, especially when there's a crit chance. Second skill is probably one of the best skills among all the heroes in the game. Oya marks the enemy with the lowest health with Hunter's Sacrifice mark and lures him to her. Any attacks on the tag target burn 4% of his energy. Passive effect. Allied heroes who regenerate health or receive healing from Oya increase their critical hit chance by 5 seconds. Allied nature heroes receive an increased bonus, a surprisingly useful ability that breaks most of the existing commands in our game. If previously you feared Yasmine and picked up a hero with low armor that she would pounce on, now you need to pick up a hero with low health for Oya so that you have any chance of getting through her and not losing your hero for nothing. And Cleaver needs to build up energy and ultimate to achieve a similar effect. Oya does that with the first 10-second cooldown. Also in this skill we see a tendency that heroes in a team with Oya for healing are useful to make critical hits, the chance of which she just increases. Third skill allows Oya to perform a series of 3 quick strikes. With each successive strike, damage to the enemy increases by 17,500. Shielded opponents behind the main target take 50% of the skill's damage. Another physical skill of Oya's to fight against shields. Let me remind you that the main factor that allows Oya to deal damage is the presence of any hero on the team that has an ability or first artifact with armor penetration effect. And here's her fourth passive skill called Brutal Onslaught, which perfectly complements her second skill. When an allied hero takes critical damage or breaks an enemy shield, he regains 11,760 health. Allied nature heroes receive an increased bonus. At max level, it equates to approximately 23,500 healing units. Overall, judging by the distinctly physical nature of Oya's abilities, it may seem like she's built for them. But let's pause for a second to look at this character from a different perspective. It's worth remembering that this hero was created primarily to defeat any engineers. After all, before her introduction, Path of Progress was objectively the most versatile and effective faction to punch through most of the other teams in our game. And to remedy this situation, developers introduce Oya, a character that goes far beyond just smashing shields and engineers. To start with, she easily makes it on the team with Mojo, Mushy, Alvanner, and Aurora. Now you don't need to put Orion to break through difficult teams with Astrid. Oya lures everyone out one at a time, and that's her huge advantage, because a character with low health is more often than not just doomed to die. And that's roughly what the situation here looks like. Hero after hero comes to the first position and regrets it, as Mojo and Mushy do their thing. This lineup beats enough teams with engineers. There are exceptions, but you need to cosmetically change the heroes, and everything will work properly. This factor is already breaking the patterns, because it would seem that the new hero is designed to improve the heroes that deal physical damage, especially the hero's physical nature. And while Oya has a direct synergy with Yasmine, Darkstar and Elmir and Ju have only gotten a drop stronger. These characters won't even be helped by a new character. They need to be recycled. But the synergy with the Snake deserves a separate study. At the moment, there are new defense teams with Yasmine and Oya, specifically with Fafnir, Tristan, and any tank. Plus, there's a variation with Astaroth, Tristan, and Sebastian. It's oh so hard to get through all of them. In a lineup like this, each character brings their own impact, and Oya is the perfect complement to Yasmine's already crazy offensive potential. Thankfully, developers have introduced a new super skin for Corvus to stop the Snake a bit, Kayla and Kara with the help of the altar. On top of that, Tristan's armor penetration artifact allows Oya herself to deal a lot of damage, which is especially felt when she fights against shields. The height of cynicism is Oya and Tristan together in conjunction with Dante and Octavia. Not only that, the last heroes I mentioned with her Dodger has already made a mess of things since her introduction. So there's also the addition of a serious nastiness competitor on defense, and all of them together simply leave no chance of getting through them without using your very best heroes. Oya's true vulnerability is her armor score, hence her being extremely vulnerable to Yasmine herself. Snake, as well as Heidi, Satori, or the same nature in many different variations, can be used to break through teams with Oya, but overall this character has no glaring flaws. She's definitely recommended to two groups of players. The first group are those people who already have the nature path leveled, especially Mushy with Mojo. The new character will really surprise you with how easily and quickly you can handle not only engineers, but many other actual teams as well. In particular, Nature is now able to easily handle quite a few teams with Fafnir, as well as Amira, Undead, and so on. The second group of players who need a new hero are those people who have a well-leveled Yasmine, Kayla, and Aiden, or Kara, and there are quite a few of them. With Oya and Snake, you will discover a whole new world in both offense and defense. She's firmly entrenched in teams of Fafnir, replacing the second tank and perfectly complementing her damage dealer, with the ability for her to deal damage on her own due to the penetration from Tristan. Overall, Oya is literally a strong, surprisingly useful both offensively and defensively hero who further diversified the game. I feel like right now you could easily put together 3 teams with physical direction. One of them would be with Oya, and quietly take any points in an inter-server battle or grand arena. Let's see how the events with talismans will develop further, and maybe the mages weakened by this situation can turn the situation back in their favor. There is a hero like Heidi who is still trying to fight against such evil, but he is not enough. in general who has Yasmine or Mushy with Mojo. Do not think, just level Oya, you will definitely need her. Meanwhile, for the 5 of you, I'll help you get more. Participate in the giveaway right now, the point of which is to simply leave a comment below this video with your in-game account ID. The main requirement for participation is also to subscribe to my channel and like this video, so subscribe. The more you are waiting for a large number of unique videos, the winner will be chosen randomly. The results will be announced in comments very soon. I will reply to the winners in the comments. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all again soon.